Welcome to Hierapolis. This is going to be a wonderful shoot today. I'm looking forward to not only just the ancient ruins, but they also have this amazing, they call them travertine pools or travertine something or other. Anyway, what we're looking at is the water that springs up from the earth is rich in minerals. Those minerals get deposited into this as it falls over the edge. I've seen things like this before. Let's see, it was in Mexico. Agua. I'll show you a quick picture of that. That was a long time ago. Nowhere near as big as this. This thing is huge though. As I was driving by on the bus on the way up here, I was reading last night, they were saying on the site that I was, some dude's blog, I'll try and find that link again, but he was saying, get dropped off at the north entrance and walk to the south. It's about 3 kilometers. And when I got on the bus today, I basically had no idea. I'm just like, oh, Pamukale, okay, I'm gonna go. And turns out, yay, we get dropped off right at the north entrance. So I'm about to go and pay my entrance fee. Hopefully they've got water there because I only got 1 little bottle of water. I think I'm gonna need a little extra to make it happen. Got a sandwich in the backpack and some other foodstuffs. So I'm good to go. Otherwise, I just need a little bit of water. And looking forward to today's shoot. So we've got the travertines, the theater, the Pamukale overall, and of course an archaeological museum. But it's time to get in now and just start wandering about and having a good old time with this. So paid for my entrance. It was about 30 euros, and it's time to go take a look. The light is generally sunny. We have some clouds that are coming in from time to time, so that'll help make it a little bit more interesting. I'm so glad I bought a fleece yesterday because it is chilly and the wind is just enough. I think I'm going to have to pull that thing out and get it going because it's a little bit chilly up here. We've got a stand up here. Let's see what this is about.
Mister, do you want to use the shuttle service?
No, I think I'm going to walk.
Oh, 2.5 kilometers almost.
Oh, that's okay.
Really?
I'm a hiker.
Oh.
You bet.
35 minutes by walk.
That's okay. Plus, I got to shoot pictures. Nice enough guy trying to talk me into using the shuttle service. But I got to take pictures and enjoy everything I can about this. So far, no problem, no mention about the tripod, so I'm really happy about that as well. And for today, while I know a little bit about this site, this still is one of those sites that I haven't done a huge amount of studying on. I've done a little bit where I'm looking at these ancient sites related to the 7 churches of Revelation. Hierapolis is not one of those 7 churches, but it is within 6, maybe 7 miles of Laodicea, or as they call it here, Laodicea. And with that, Hierapolis was a huge place. What's interesting is, as I read in the history books, there's a whole lot about Laodicea and the importance of Laodicea. But when it comes to the archaeological finds and the archaeological dig and what they've been able to uncover, like things like this, for instance, it just seems like there's been a whole lot more that's uncovered here. And like he said, it's like 3 kilometers from one end to the next. And that's just great. This is why I'm here. I've got the extra water. I've got food. I am going to be here pretty much all day. So we have our first sign. Let's see what we're looking at here. And I'll probably end up taking my first photograph here as well. I want to be careful because I might be overselling it, but this is the kind of stuff I feel like I live for. So yeah, let's get the camera set up. Let's make our first shot. This particular shot probably is not going to be like the one, but just the fact that I can literally walk through that thing is so exciting. And I'm just so happy to be able to shoot and do stuff like this. Am I going to get some clouds though? You know, I might be, again, this is probably why this image isn't going to be a big stellar of a keeper, because right now the lighting is all wrong, but I'm still going to get the camera out and get started on something here. Well, I tell you, this shift lens is almost worth its weight in gold because it's just amazing. Let's take a look at this shot. Things are straight on, and I want to keep those verticals nice and vertical. And I want more sky though. And so that's where I come in with this lens, and I'm able to just lift that element, or actually lower the element, give me more sky, and I still have the right amount of ground without getting too much road, and I keep those verticals actually vertical, or at least really close to vertical. I'm not going to say it's actually perfect, but it's really close, and I just love it. It's excellent. Going generally straight on, although I position myself. Let's look at this here. As we can see the camera here, I position myself a little bit off to the side. If I were going to be straight on, I would be pretty much right here, and I'd be shooting straight out that way. But what I wanted to do, I came over here just a little bit because of the mountains in the background. I wanted to have those mountains coming through a little more prominently through the main entrance, and then of course they continue over through these entrances over here, the visual passageways through the item there. So I was able to get a framing that gave me a little bit of that mountain type element and have that in the scene where I want it, but certainly it's not straight on. So I kind of think I'll probably do one straight on just because I feel like I'm needing it, but otherwise that's the reason I shifted just slightly. So while I'm picky about those verticals being vertical, obviously I'm gonna have a little bit of a shift in my horizontals and how those are going back and forth, and I think I'm going to be okay with that because I'm still going to be able to show some kind of dimension and some kind of I don't know, some sense of something there that is going to be interesting because that mountain is in the background. I'm only 2 shots into it and already just heaven on earth kind of. I mean, look at this stuff. This is amazing. From this item here all the way through on up the way there. And this is just barely scratching the surface. There's going to be so much more, whether it's the amphitheater and the different colonnades and different things like that. Let's look though and see what this thing has for us. Very cool indeed. And then back here we've got this element, and if I knew the language, I don't know if that's Greek or what. Oh man, there's a little bird element there. This is when Brent becomes speechless. Sorry about that, but this is just so cool. So I'm at this northern Necropolis site. It says, on the side of the tomb facing the road is a facade in large blocks corresponding to 2 funerary chambers. 2 large doors give access to the rooms, while on the southern side there is a window framed by an original structure with pillars. The thing that caught my eye here though is this doorway, number 1, but number 2, we've got a sarcophagus back there. And I set my camera almost as tall as it could go. You can see how the legs are not very spread apart. I used the center column for my shot and then also did a vertical. And as I get that line there, you can see as I lower this camera that sky is coming through, and I did not want that. But I wanted that sarcophagus and I wanted the doorway and just everything to just be right perfectly lined up. And as we walk through, this is the first time walking through it for me, we can see the different chambers, the different rooms here, and how we've got another sarcophagus here on the side, and then some passageway that's been blocked now over here. And I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. This is the kind of thing where I'm speechless, where there's just so much to absorb. It's wonderful this time of year. It's late March. Almost nobody is here, although it's really chilly as well, so you want to be prepared for that. And it is absolutely phenomenal. If you're into history, if you're into the ancient world, and especially if you're into biblical interests, I mean, look at this one here. So there's a pit here. But as I was saying, if you're into biblical interests and the like, this is most definitely the place for you. So I've come atop this hill out behind the main road area and got some great views. Whether we're talking the part that I just went through, the funerary area, on up this curved area around here where you don't see the road, and then on up the direction I'm going, basically where that crane is. I'm heading that direction on the far end there. But I'm going to show you some pictures now that I'm getting from this area. I'm loving the mountains in the background, just getting the sense of the feel of the valley and the whole place. Certainly details and whatnot right now are perfect for the ruins. I just photographed tomb 114, and it's known as the Tomb of Curses. It comes from the second half of the 2nd century AD, so a little bit after the time frame that I've been looking at intently with my project out here. But it says the tomb lies on the left-hand side of the road, and it's enclosed by a perimeter wall, rests on a base with 3 steps, with a bench placed in front of it. Inside are 3 beds and the ossuary. On the roof, a sarcophagus broken as a result of an earthquake bears an inscription mentioning the occupant, and I'll leave it, I'm not going to say those names because I'll make a fool of myself, and his wife. On the facade is an inscription of great interest which refers to the punishment inflicted on those who violate the sepulchre, as well as the usual fines it invokes diseases, misfortunes, and punishments in the next world. This inscription has led to the building being named the Tomb of the Curses. I can only imagine that sarcophagus is on the roof because they put it there later. I can't imagine why a sarcophagus would be placed on the roof. A sarcophagus would be placed inside the building. But as we can see, it's clearly on top, and there's other inscriptions though too on the walls, and so there's a lot more written which this sign does not address. It's been at least a half an hour since I've seen another person, so if you're looking to come out here on your own, I definitely recommend late March. It's not too terribly chilly, and the prices for accommodation are great, and the traffic, the foot traffic is non-existent. And if you're here in the summertime, it's just going to be hot. So take the best of all those situations and come in late March, and I think you'll have a great time. I am getting my first glimpse of these travertine cliffs. So it took me forever here. I'm going to take forever down there as well. Before I get to that, I think I'm going to go ahead and eat my lunch. It is just a little bit afternoon, and I'm already feeling nice and hungry. And I'll probably go ahead and eat my lunch before I get to the travertine sections. But these amazing things here with these different tombs and the like, so many cool compositions are being had. Right now I'm shooting the 24 to 105 lens, and I've been able to zoom in and get some really cool compositions. Wide enough too for that tomb of the curses. I was able to get a nice panorama, and we can take a look at that now. It is the perfect lens, paired with, of course, the 14 to 35, the perfect setup for shooting a place like this. And then, of course, that shift lens that I have, the 20mm Leoa shift lens that I rented from lensrentals.com. And to think I could have skipped all this and taken one of those tram services to have a quick drive through the entire site. Not a chance. Oh my goodness. This is just too good. Those domed things back there, those are really cool. I didn't really get a shot of them, but they are from the 1st century BC, and they are tombs, but they are dome shaped rather than having a stone top. They have an earthen top, so I thought that was kind of cool. And looks like there's some work crew doing some work over here with a big crane. And I'm almost at the end of this north, I think we call this whole thing the North Necropolis area. It's been having this ancient roadway to walk down, and this fire smells good. This ancient roadway to walk down, and photographing all along this way. The travertine section is next. It's my understanding there's still going to be some ruins in that section, but as I didn't do a whole lot of looking, I did a little bit. I mostly did a lot of reading on the history. It didn't do so much on the exact, this is where this thing is and that's where that thing is, that kind of thing. I was just looking a little more at the basic history and the elements there. But I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and wrap this up, and then we're going to have part 2 to finish out this wonderful site of Hierapolis. It is definitely something that I'm going to say is worth it. Absolutely wonderful. In part, I'm saying that not only because of what I've done, but because I know of what's ahead.